It's Good News Week. Doctors finding many ways of wrapping brains in metal trays to keep us from the heat.
Well, thank you for joining me on another episode of Poopy McFartface. That's right. Now, some people say it's a conspiracy that 440 hertz was standardized by the Rockefeller Foundation in 1935. Well, it was. The elite always have prior information. Like, did you know silver is antibacterial? I know you always wondered, why do the rich always drink out of crystal? And why do they use silver utensils? Well, as far as the silver utensils go, they are subject to antibacterial properties. You will recognize most surgical utensils are made of silver and crystals. The shit. 'Cause if you want to drink something nice and classy, you gotta drink out of crystal. Crystal is vibrant. Everything's a frequency, they say. The earth, the atmosphere, the world we live in is all held by... Hey, did you know that no atoms, no molecules touch each other? So technically, I can never touch anybody because no molecules actually touch each other. That's what scientists would say, and that is idiotic. It is stupid. Everything's a frequency, and God said, let there be light. Let there be light. Now, there's been a long disputed theory of the ether, which does exist and must exist, dictated by the great Einstein, who was a freaking moron. Sorry, Einstein, who thought light was a particle and a wave. Oh, how profound! Well, if it's a wave, it's only a wave when you want it to be a wave. And it's a particle. It's only a particle when you can't explain when it can't be a wave. Vice versa. How does light slow down and then speed back up without breaking certain laws of energy? It can't. It's conserved. It's conserved, I say. It's conserved, dear sir. You cannot slow down light and speed it back up without an external force. That would be breaking one of the many laws you have dictated to this universe. It didn't dictate it to you. You only spliced the definition from waves to particles. That is it. How can light travel without a wave? How can I splash in the ocean without an ocean? What is the medium in which this wave is floating through, one would ask? What is the wave in space that light is traveling? How do you make a wave when it's an empty void? How do you do it? How do you do it? It's the ether. It's the ether. It's the ether. It's the ether. The frequency. No, I'm telling you, dude. There was a scientist that was freezing water molecules at the smallest form ever, and like vibrating frequencies, and it would pump a frequency of 440 hertz through it. and the water would look like mud, discombobulated, brown, and disgusting. Google wants to lie to you about this. Obviously. Like, the first thing it says, like, no, 432 hertz is not the natural frequency of the universe. There is no natural frequency of the universe. That phrase doesn't even make sense. And no, 440 hertz is not bad to listen to. To the contrary, 440 hertz is the greatest thing. It's the greatest tuning. It's the standard for A. It is A. It is A4, 440 hertz. No shit. If you ever freaking learned anything about music, you would know that A is 440 hertz. And if you actually studied anything about music, you would know that it's not good. No, it is not. But listen. You can put your music in 432. You can put your music in 528. Sure, it was preordained. And who was it? Was it John Todd? I can't remember the cat's name. Who was a high producer in the executive music world, who would go on and on and on about how they would perform certain satanic rituals and seances over the master records before they would be mass produced to you, sir. Well, maybe I'm lying. I don't know. Maybe it's not the truth. Go ahead and listen. It's not my ears. But the first thing Google says is, no. So you know it's, yeah, that's probably true. I make this thing called, what is it called? It's called Bruce Lee water. And one of the steps, I can't think right now, I think there's 8 or 9 steps to making this water, and it is the best water. It is so good. You ever looked into water structuring? You should do it. Anyway, one of the steps is you play 432 hertz through the water, and you should know that there's no new water on the earth, right? Has any spaceships brought some new water to planet Earth recently? No. Some say that water holds memory. I sometimes pray over it, which is one of the steps to Bruce Lee water. If you speak negatively towards your water, you might get a negative intake from your water. You never know. They've already been pumped, chlorinated, and everything else. Shoved through a whole bunch of copper pipes right to your, dry mouth. So, let's think about the frequencies that rule our world before we start deciding that light is particles. That's a joke. Come on, Einstein. Einsteinian. It's a particle and a wave? Holy shit. And I believe a nucleus is only a nucleus for a short period of time before it goes into proton. Pretty sure there's only freaking protons. And I'm pretty sure fucking protons aren't fucking running through my microphone right now, feeding this stupid fucking voice of my mouth to you right now. I'm pretty freaking fucking sure of that. Yeah. And maybe that's just like some, anecdotal evidence of this, but I know that I am much happier listening to music that's not into the satanic patents of 440 hertz. So, I'm not even sure what you're listening to right now. I had some issues with the sound. And first couple videos I did, and I don't know why I even had an issue with it. It's because I was using a GoPro, and I never really considered it in how it records the sound. So I had to figure that out. Until I figured that out, it would line up. But if it's just a little bit off, just the slightest little bit, it will cease to exist, and you cannot, and you will not be able to do it. I'm telling you. The frequency has been ordained. Have you ever heard of, what was his name? Royal Rife? You ever heard of Royal Rife? Let's check out some Royal Rife. Hey, machine. I looked it up before, sometime in my history. Here, you can pick one up for $1,800. Apparently, they're still available. Last time I remember checking, they were not. Real Rife figured out the mortality frequency of every disease. I don't know if every disease. That's stupid. I know he figured out for a couple of diseases. And it's been said to cure such thing as cancer. But I'm not saying that it cures cancer. Not saying YouTube would take down my videos because I have 3 viewers that watch them. But GB4000 function generator sounds pretty badass. But anyway, this guy almost took down his freaking, he had a building that he worked in. And I think Mythbusters did a thing on this. Yeah, that's right, Mythbusters. And if you find everything has a frequency, my son, everything has a frequency. And if you find that frequency, you can find the mortality rate of that frequency, and you can destroy it. And everything else around it will be perfectly fine. And what Mythbusters did was they found the frequency of the bridge, they found the mortality, well, they tried to. I think they just matched the frequency of the bridge, and then they set a weight that would kind of sway in that frequency, and they freaked out and shut the experiment down because within a minute, this huge bridge started swaying because of a 1 pound weight being shifted back and forth at that frequency. You know, a swing, and you push the swing, and it keeps going, and it goes a little bit more, and then a little bit more, and then a little bit more, and then a little bit more, and it takes the same amount of energy to get a very substantial outcome of that swing that is different from your first initial persistence into that outcome, and that's kind of the idea. I believe he created the Doomsday device. But frequencies, my son, and I don't know. I hope people end up watching the show. And actually, I don't hope that because I'm assuming that eventually I'll say something completely ridiculous and I'll be held accountable for it. So I just thumbs down, don't share, unsubscribe. And do all those other things that will hide me from the technocratical allegories that are just let me have a pretend outlet into an actual community since it was destroyed by the technocrats. And I'll just pretend that I'm speaking with someone. So fare thee well, my friend. Fare thee well.